Dear friends in Toronto, my name is Rabbi Shlomo Kimchi, and Rabbi Meza invited me to come and to be scholar in residence of Shabbat Lecha, which is the upcoming Shabbat, and to talk about Aliyah, and to invite you to visit Israel more, be more connected to Israel eventually. Join us in Israel, because Israel is really paradise. It is really paradise. Problem is that in today's Israel, like in the biblical paradise, there were snakes. In our paradise just now, we have snakes, and we have a war against these terrible snakes. And these snakes can do irreversible damage. And until we don't finish this war against these snakes, we're not going to be inviting you to come and join paradise, because paradise has turned into hell. We have to get rid of these snakes and turn this back into paradise, which we're going to do very soon in Yirtzeh Hashem. However, this week is Parashat Lech, and we have a big question on Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu, really, you want to go out to war? Why are you going? You're not a warrior. You're not a soldier. You're Talmid Chacham with students. Why are you going out to war? You're risking everything. You're risking the future of the monotheistic, spiritual future of the world. You've got so much to lose. And you're fighting against the 4 kings that already won the battle against the 5 kings. They are very strong. Why are you risking everything? So the Maharal explains on the Pasuk, which means the world is created in a balance. And it's not only in the world of botanics and the world of physiology and the world of zoology that everything is homostasis. Homo is the same, stasis is this situation. The whole world of nature is trying to keep a certain equilibrium, a certain balance. And we must, and the Maharal says in the same way, there is a spiritual balance. The spiritual balance is once HaKadosh Baruch Hu creates Adam and Chava and Gan Eden, he has to create a snake. And when he creates, what is it? Kriyas Yamsuf, for instance, Parashat B'Shalach, the splitting of the Red Sea, which was such a positive event. So comes Amalek all of a sudden. So there is a certain balance in the spiritual world. And therefore, what is the balance in the world of Avraham? Avraham is coming into the world and doing so much chesed and so much good and caring so much and giving so much. Opposite him came Nimrod. Nimrod means I will rebel. And when the fighting, the wars began, it says, it says Amraphel. Amraphel, Rashi says, is Nimrod. So Nimrod was actually fighting. But the question is, okay, why does he have to fight Nimrod? For a simple reason. I heard from my rabbi, Avigdor Nebenzahl Schlitter from the old city of Yerushalayim, a wonderful idea. In Hebrew, when one goes out to war, one says Yotzim leMilchama. Everywhere in the Torah and in the Nevi'im and Kesuvim, where they talk about war, talk about going out to war. And here it says Asu Milchama. It's true in English one says one makes war, but in Hebrew you don't say you make war. Only once does it say he made war. And that is Amraphel. Why? Because Amraphel said, look, Avram is doing so much good in the world, so much chesed, so much wonderful things. How can I do an antidote to this? So he said, I know. Cain killed Hevel, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu was very angry with that. That was the most anti-chesed deed ever done. Murder. So I'll get a group of people who will murder another group of people. And he invented war, Asu Milchama. He invented the first war ever as an antidote to Avraham Avinu. And Avraham Avinu understood the fact that he's adding chesed and goodness to the world is useless if he doesn't get rid of the snakes, if he doesn't get rid of Nimrod, who is actually doing the opposite, and he's creating war, and he's just creating savage and negative bloodshed. He has to stop this. It's not good enough to fill up your bath with hot water and cold water if you don't put the plug in. You have to assume it. You have to get rid of the bad, not to do the good. Abraham understood this. So this is the first reason he had to go out to battle against the evil and the evilness of Nimrod. There is though a second. The second reason is, it says in the Pasuk, Vayishma Avraham ki nishba achi. He hears that Lot has been taken captive. So Lot has been taken captive. So what? Lot split off from him. Lot decided a different direction. Like he went to Sodom, which is a terrible place. He broke away from Avraham. Why? Because Rashi tells us on the Pasuk, if you go right, I'll go left. If you go left, I'll go right. Rashi says, I'll never stay too far away from you. I will always be there to save you and protect you. That's what Rashi says. And since Avraham Avinu made that promise, he had to keep the promise. So the moment he heard that Lot was being taken in captive, he remembers his promise that I will save you and I will protect you. And he takes all his Talmidim and he's going out to war. These are the two reasons Avraham goes out to war. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just now at war in Israel for exactly the same two reasons. Hamas is evil. It has shown us it's a real snake. It's not a lion or a tiger. A lion or a tiger, they jump on their prey in order to eat it. No, snakes just do bad, and they don't even eat what their prey because they cannot swallow their own vermin. They cannot swallow their own poison, so they just put in poison. And I don't want to go over this again. I'm sure you've heard it over the last 3 weeks. The terrible, terrible, terrible things they did in the villages, in 20 villages outside Gaza. And the most terrible things one can imagine, one shouldn't imagine, because it is mind-boggling. But that's the first reason. We have to fight against the evilness. Get rid of the snakes. But there's a second reason. We've promised to save our people. And anybody who was in the IDF is sworn into that. If you look up the IDF website, I'm reading to you from the IDF website. At the end of basic training, soldiers of the IDF are sworn in at the Kotel or some other meaningful place of Jewish heritage in Israel. They all swear to commit themselves to the purpose of the IDF, which is to protect the existence of the state of Israel, its independence, and the security of its citizens and its residents. So every person who finished basic training has sworn in, like Avram sworn in to protect Lot. We're sworn in to fight to get back our captives. Those are the two reasons of Avram Avinu. Those are our two reasons today. We're in the middle of a war. I cannot come to visit you at the moment. We're much too busy. We've got too much we're dealing with. Hopefully, Mitzvah Hashem will kill the snakes. Mitzvah Hashem will win the Hamas over the Hamas. Mitzvah Hashem, we will get back our captives. And this place will turn back into a garden of paradise. And then I'll be more than happy to visit you and to tell you wonderful stories. And hopefully, to tempt you to come and join us, visit us, and maybe even plan Aliyah and join us in the land of Israel as soon as possible. Shabbat Shalom.